I have the tow truck all hooked up to the tractor. I'm going to use the wheel lift to pull the tractor to the body shop. It's only around the corner, so it should just roll just fine behind there. I have the tractor. I went over and acid washed, degreased multiple times in preparations for the paint. So she's stripped down, she's ready to go. We'll be painting her in the morning after we get everything taken off and set up for paint. Got the wheels taped off already. Just tried to do as much ahead before I brought it over to the body shop. So this is the next day. We have the tractor all set up in the paint booth. We removed the wheels. We've got it up on jack stands. As you can see on this tree here, we have all the smaller pieces, some bolts, fan shroud, the wheel centers. On this box I have more lug nuts, air filter. So we got everything wiped down one more time with a grease and wax remover, and we're getting ready to spray right now. So my friend here, he's starting out spraying all the small stuff. That's his strategy. He wants to start on everything that's not the tractor first and get a coat of paint on that stuff. So as you can see, he's working around, on the different pieces on the tree first, and then he's going to move over and do the lug nuts and some nuts and bolts and the air filter assemblies. And as you watch it, when he's doing this, he's making sure to get in the nooks and crannies of the parts first before he then blends it with the rest of the outside, so that this way it doesn't produce any drips or runs. Okay, now he's moving over the wheel. What he's doing here, these paint guns have a bladder inside of that cup, so if you flip the gun upside down, it will take all the air out of the bladder, which will allow you to spray the paint upside down. As you can see, you need to do that to get the top section of the wheel, which was kind of handy because otherwise you'd have to roll the wheel around to always be spraying on the low side. Well, my buddy was spraying the paint. One of my jobs was to continually make sure I had enough paint mixed up. So I would go back in the mixing room and mix up a load of paint whenever he said he was getting low. This way he always was ready to just switch cups on the gun to the full cup, and he was ready to rock and roll again. So as you see, I'm just mixing it up right here for him. It was a 3-part paint. You had the paint, an activator, and then a reducer to thin it out so it would spray well. Then you filtered it through this filter cup and loaded it into the cup that is fitted for the gun. Okay, so now he started spraying the tractor. Again, his strategy here was to kind of work from the bottom to the top, work on the smaller inside sections first, get a coat of paint on them, and then come back and with a wider fan setting on the gun and blast the paint on the rest of the machine. So you can see he's working in the nooks and crannies now, and then you'll see in a little bit here he's going to back up and take a wider spray on there. Okay, now he's getting towards the back of the tractor. You can really start to see the transformation taking place. The color's really popping on this thing. This is called, it's a Massey Ferguson gray color called Stoneleigh Grey. This color was the color that they would spray on the UK-made tractors. Since this tractor was made in England, that's why this is the darker gray rather than that, I think it was called a flint gray, is a lighter gray that the USA-made tractors were. So I'm trying to keep it sort of period correct. That's why I chose this color. Plus, I kind of like the color of this for the engine castings. Okay, so this is the next day. We let the tractor sit overnight. Even though we did bake the paint with the paint booth, you can set the paint booth to 160 degrees for 30 minutes and it'll warm everything up. It makes the paint cure really fast. So we did that, but we figured we'd leave it sit overnight just to really let the paint harden a little bit extra. You could see we have quite the pit crew going on. So we have enough guys to be able to do separate jobs, so we're not all working on the same thing. We have the wheel center is going back on the rear rim right now, and you can see my other friends, they're working on getting the front tires on, which is helpful. It's amazing when you have more people working on something how fast it can be accomplished. I think when I took everything apart, it was just primarily me working on stripping it down while my buddy was doing some other things. So it took probably almost close to 2 hours to get the tractor stripped down and set up. Right here, with all this help, we managed to put it back together, and it was less than 30 minutes. So we're getting the back wheels mounted up now. Everything's snugged up, getting her back in rolling condition. Then we're going to be hooking her up to the tow truck and getting her back pulled down the road. The tractor really came out awesome. I want to special thanks to my friend Matt who helped me. He was doing all the spraying, and then you could see all my other friends here for giving me a hand getting her back together. I appreciate it very much. You can see it's snowing. We got her home. She's back in the driveway, ready to get put back together while we prep the hood and the fenders for getting their red paint. So that video will be coming up in the future. So everybody, thanks for watching. Keep posted. There'll be more videos on this coming up, as we get them done. Thanks for watching, guys. See you later.